Okay, so I'll just start. I just want to thank everyone for coming virtually and over the recording to support one of Tallahassee's lovely local artists, as well as Coca. So I am the Public Art and Exhibitions Manager with Coca. My name is Sam. And today Elvi will be going through some of her first paintings, some of her newer paintings, and some in between, and then telling us about her journey along the way. I've had the pleasure of working with Elvi during her current exhibition, which is up in the airport. She is such a joy to be around and work with. And if you don't already know, her exhibition is up until November 2nd in the Tallahassee airport. So if you've not had a chance, please go see it in person. We also have an online gallery of her work currently being shown that's on the Coca website. And so I am going to share my screen and give it over to Elvi. Let's see here. Okay.
Here we are. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead. You can
Okay.
introduce yourself and then talk about the pictures as they come up on the screen.
Okay, I am Elvi Nichols. Hello. Hi, Luisa. I hope that you are there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for this. Welcome to my studio that start with a little desk, a little easel, and over time I have been taking more and more space from the house. That picture that you are looking there is a photo of me on August 1st, 2017, when I have my first public exhibit. I have a friend, Eva, that she offered me to speak with the owner of El Jalisco in Southwood and ask if it was possible for me to display my paintings there. And the owner, Mary, she was very nice, very open. So on the Sunday before, we went there with my daughter and we post paintings in every wall that she gave us, the hall to the patrons, the entrance in front of the reception desk. And it was my birthday. Also, so many friends and my family was there. It was a very good way to show my very friendly with people that gave me all this positive energy. I have been painting constantly for a year and a half, all 2016 and part of the 17. And every time I post a painting on my Facebook page, my friends will say, oh, that is nice, that reminds me this and that. So I noticed that other people like, but all they saw was just a photo from my iPhone. And in El Jalisco, they had the opportunity to see the real photos. It makes a difference, quite a difference to see something in that display. So we went on Sunday and my daughter helped me. By the way, the day before that Sunday, her fiance has come to say that he was going to ask her to get married, but I couldn't say nothing to Luisa. So that Sunday she helped me and everything, but I have to be quiet. So the exhibit was a success. I felt so good. Even few pieces were sold, and everybody just gave me courage to keep painting, to keep doing. And I am there so happy on the almost on the table showing my work. Those were acrylics and some of the paintings were on oil. That photo is the next year. There was this event at the downtown park in Park Avenue that I rent a tent and they gave me a tent and I have to provide my table, the easels, and set up my paintings. My daughter and my husband helped me and I was there all Saturday morning. Some of my friends came and I displayed. It was nice. It was a beautiful day. People will walk by and they didn't look much at my paintings, but I was so happy, so so sure that I like what I was doing. I like my painting, so it didn't matter too much. So, but that was the second time that I went public, and it felt good. It's good to get out and show something that I enjoy doing. That painting is on the City Hall. I am holding a 26 at 24 by 36 painting with the painting of a palanquera. It was the first big painting that I made. In the beginning, I started with 11 by 14 or maybe 16 by 20. I dared to do that because I saw a photo of this woman walking on the streets in Cartagena, and I love her body posture, the way she was holding. She looked like she was walking so happy with the big bowl with fruits on her head. The line of her shoulders were beautiful. The sun was even here on her shoulders, and the hand was falling, and she was walking with such a grace, such an ease that I loved the photo, and I tried to recreate it in a painting. I use a solid color, orange, because it's my favorite color. And when I applied to the Tallahassee Creative or Creative Tallahassee, my painting was approved. So I was very happy to be part of that. The year before, in 2018, I also had applied to Creative Tallahassee with a palenquera, also a ball that is just from the shoulders here. And it felt very good every time I applied. I provide 3 photos, and when I got the email that one of my paintings was chosen, it was just, yeah. It gave me a lot of satisfaction and encouragement to keep going on the same direction that I was doing.
Mhm.
They asked me that year again if they could keep my painting at the commissioner's room in the 4th floor. I felt honored, and I said, of course, and every chance I had somebody to go and show them that my painting was there. That was a very encouraged experience that they showed that. So twice I have been for a year at the commissioner's room. That is a soul that I paint with acrylic for my husband. One of the things that painting has given me is that I'm doing something from me, and I have something to give to him that he loves. It was always very difficult to find a present for him for birthday, for Christmas. But when he started asking me to paint a soul, it's too difficult. I wasn't sure. But when I start, I did. It's difficult to frame in a long shape a photo that he gives me that is a square, but I did it, and he wanted certain things. There is the main subject that he wants in the song. So he is very involved in the process, that he tells me what he likes, and I try to please him, and he loves. So far I have painted for him like 35 or 36. So
Oh my goodness.
that is another one. He loves sometimes blue skies, sometimes he likes sunsets, and he gives me a photo, and he says what is his favorite part of the photo, and I always do it in acrylic. Then he varnish and he mount on a wooden piece, and he put on the wall, normally in the garage. So for the heat in the garage, I thought that acrylic was the best way to do the painting on the sun. But I have made like maybe 1 or 2 using oils, but it takes longer to dry. So I prefer doing it with acrylic. And also another. He costs 14. I randomly choose those photos, but there was a period that he wanted all the gas station, the yellow shell with the sign, or sometimes about a fire, or sometimes about the bar. So everything that he has, and then he put them together, or sometimes a beautiful sunset in the farm, and he likes the sunset light, the red, the orange, the yellow behind the trees. And yes, so he has some in his office and some in the garage because now he has too many.
He has so many and they're all so different.
Yes. And it's different when it's a building because the line, the straight and the line, the horizontal line has to be. Sometimes he posts one and the building look crooked, so we have to move a little the so. Well, that is a painting in my kitchen. I'm holding a paint of a woman that is sewing on a sewing machine. I love that painting because for a few years I was involved with a charity here in Tallahassee that they did few fundraisers to help people back in Colombia in my hometown. And I got very involved with that. In one occasion, I did a fundraising here at home. In another time, my friend Eva, she spoke with a lady at the Woman Club, Olga, and we also organized another fundraising from here, people making donations, and we send that money to the trade school in Barranquilla. I visited the trade school in 2013 and I took many photos, but my photos were not good. And that is one of the very few that I could use for a painting because I need a reference photo for doing a painting. And the places was so dark. I didn't make the nice angle. I didn't know so much about what, not all the photos are good for a painting, but that one I like so much. So I made the painting and I sent it to them in Barranquilla and they like it so much that they have it in a special room for the ex-alumnas from the María Auxiliadora. They have that painting. So I feel very happy. It's kind of doing, they learn them to do cooking, sewing, painting, nails, hair too. So they train the women so they can make a living. They stay for 1 year at the school every Sunday and it's for free. And then they can go out and get a job. And every time I have chance to go there and give some support, I do it.
Oh,
That is the first palenquera that I made. It's a 16 by 20 and it's made with oils. I have this memory of the woman that came to my house and they go the street and they are selling alegrías. And I remember you are in your house and around 4 in the afternoon you hear the woman singing alegría, alegría, and then you want to be outside. So she will come, she will put her big ball on the floor, and I have to choose which one I want. But I didn't find a reference photo with that kind of person or that. On the internet, there are more photos, a lot of photos with the palenqueras that are very popular in Cartagena. So there are many photos that are very good for to recreate in a painting. So that's why I painted. But behind that woman is the face of many people that I have seen on the street selling goods and that have made me happy selling candies or whatever. So, and she's smiling and she's happy and she has the colors of yellow, blue, and red that are the colors of our flag. And in 2018, I applied to Coca Creative Tallahassee, and they chose that painting. And that painting was also for 1 year at the commissioner's room. So I have it here in my house, right there in my living room. That is another parenquera. I found that photo in the internet and I love it. It's a 16 by 20. She's wearing the yellow, blue, and red. That yellow and that red is not just red from the tube. I need to learn that I need to add a little of blue, a little of these colors to give the shadow, the fold on the fabric. The blue has some purple, has some dark, different kind of blue, and the yellow is very difficult too, because there is some yellow that is transparent. So there are so many paints that to find the right yellow is like in the exercise, trying, and it's not right. Until finally, I think that I made it. And also the skin color. I was learning to make the skin color, which I like. And I love her face expression. She looks so tired, like this woman that is, what I'm doing here, this is going nowhere. Working every day and your life seems that it's never going to improve, and probably she needs to make few bucks for the day to buy the food for that day. And it tells a lot of a story. It's kind of, it's sad, the photo. I don't paint many sad things. I prefer people smiling, but she always reminds me that, yeah, this is the things that you need to do to don't go to that place. And I gave that painting to a dear friend, Mara, and she loved it because she knows what that expression in that woman says. It's a whole story. She's an old woman, a mature woman like us. She's wearing earrings, the heat, the oh my God, she's thinking what I'm doing here. She would rather be at home just with the fan and the so but she has to be there working, and it's a way to honor that older people. Well, that is me walking to the city with my big painting. I am so proud, and I wanted a photo, and I gave my photo to somebody, and somebody took the photo. You can see the blue sky because all my photos are with a blue sky. For some reason, yes, blue sky and an orange dress. That is what I cannot see well from here. What is that? That doesn't
It's your first exhibit at El Jalisco, encouraged by your close friends in 2017.
Oh, yes, and I am that's jumping up and down. All my friends were there, they came with presents, but the best present that they gave me was the encouragement to get out with my paintings and in a friendly environment. That gave me so much confidence, that gave me so much joy, and especially the confidence that, yes, I'm doing on the right path. The things that I do bring me joy, and they bring joy to other people. So that was that day at El Jalisco, and the owner, she was wonderful. That is that painting that I use a photo that I took, one of the few photos. I was in Barranquilla at the on the street, and with my camera I saw the guy that was pushing kind of up the hill his little cart, and it's filled with mangoes in plastic bags, mangoes that they chop and they put salt and pepper and they sell. So he's pushing that. It's a small painting in acrylic, 11 by 14. I keep it, I have framed it, and I keep it here in my house. And yes, that's what a lot of people do there, and they do everywhere to make a living. the mangoes. That is a photo of the sea. Probably is that my first painting. Let's see. Oh, that is my house.
Your
Okay.
house. Yes, your childhood home.
That is the house. We moved to that house the day before I turned 7 years old. And I didn't have here many photos of that house. I have the memory, maybe a small photo in black and white. So in a canvas, I tried to recreate what I remember. There is a big celebration December the 7th that we call Noche de Velitas, where all the grown-ups are awake and there is party and there is dancing and music. And early in the morning at 5 in the morning, everybody gets out and they lit candles outside on the driveway, on the sidewalk. And so I made the painting because I have this memory of my house on that day. So from the street, you could see the children. I did this all from my mind and memory. The children, I didn't have a reference photo to see how the light reflects, but I knew that the house looked like a beautiful. You could see that in the back, there is the window because the Christmas tree is also the light reflects on the back. On the top, there is the balcony and 3 windows, and there is light because there is people inside the house, they are dancing. And outside, there are some children with these sparkling lights that you lit on Christmas. So I drove few kids there, and there is the garage door, the window, and the house was on the hill. So it was on almost the top of the hill, so you can see that it goes down. And on the very front, there are these great bricks that they had a lot of texture, so they were great. And next to the garage door, there is also those great bricks, and on top is a window. And there are the children. So that is a recreation of the Noche de Velitas in my house. We live it's in acrylic. And I also have it framed and it's here in my kitchen, that painting. And that painting is an acrylic and it's also the recreation of a park, Tomás Salcedo, when my mom used to take us when we were little. And I used to take my daughter Luisa also when she was little. And the first time that I went to Colombia, the first I wanted to do was go to that park. But my photos were not good enough, but I remember I tried to recreate that and the swing with the 2 little girls that are going there back and forth. And the puppies came into the living room. Hello, puppies. Oh, but I hope they don't come. Excuse me.
It's okay.
Oh, they became too smart. I don't know how they did because I put it there. Okay, so that is the story about that painting. It's a place, Parque Suri Salcedo, that usually every year they do their festivals, and everybody who was born in Barranquilla, my age, have some connection with that park. And I'm sure that many people my age has memories, wherever they were born, that they would like to go back to those places and they treasure those memories.
Mhm.
That is another soul that I painted for my husband. I think that is the one about the store that there are 4 guys standing up there. And he says that, well, he was born in Jackson County and he grew up in a farm. So he has a lot of appeal for that. And here is Dallas in the studio. Come on, Dallas. So it reflects the story of a time, but it's very common because in my town also the store, the tienda is the place with everybody in the neighbor comes to talk about what is going on in the week, how the soccer game passed, the gossip in the city, everything. So that is about that in that painting, in that photo. Those are my mangoes. I paint those mangoes in 2017, in February 2017. So far at this point, I was only using acrylic, but somebody told me that in Havana, there was a lady who has a studio that lived my bride, and that she had some students. So I went there and I start going once a week. She will make 30 minutes demonstration. I went with that painting. I had already started to paint the mangoes, the shapes, and some leaves. And I went with all my acrylic paintings and I said my easel. So she came and she approached me and she told me, do you want to try oils? And I was kind of, oh my goodness. So she said the palette with oils, she said some of her own paintings and she explained how to use it. This is easy, blah, blah. So I start applying oil over the mangoes and over the leaves, and I love it. And she told me, yes, you can paint oil over acrylics, but never acrylics over oils. So that is a beautiful painting, and that was my first ever mangoes. For some idea, I wanted to paint mangoes, and every time I was browsing for photos, and I say photos, it was the photos with the mangoes on a tree that I like to paint. When there was a mango on a wall or a still life, it was not so appealing, but the mangoes on the tree, that was something that I feel that is what I like to paint the most. And that is another mango, the second mango that I paint in oil, with oils there at the studio with Darlene, my bride. And before those mangoes, I painted at home like 500,000 mangoes. I used to buy canvas, paper, and I will do it and try and try and try. And many of those, I just, with the time after I made these two that were beautiful and that were good, I continue doing and I have got better. But some of these paintings, I don't know if you can see, this is the one that I first made with acrylic. Can you see that?
It's little, but I think it's up. It's in the slideshow a
That's
little.
the Yes, well, so I painted 500, but I kept one of those 500 and another of those 500. The others I decided to apply some gesso and recycle the canvas. When I was painting, she says, oh, you need to put some a little pink on the light. I got pink, and yes, and yeah, there is some pink on the leaves, on the light, so that is a beautiful mango. Use. Other problem that I have with the exhibit is that they want me to give a name to the painting. How many names I can give to the mangoes? So I have sweet mangoes, juicy mangoes, red, I forgot which one were the ripe or the juicy. Why do I have to give them a name? It's so difficult. That is the most difficult part of the painting. At the end.
I think people can relate with that.
Really, yeah. And when they ask you the mission statement about the painting, what else can I say about the mangoes? Well, that was my first painting that I made at the Lafayette Park. I was visiting a friend and she had in her kitchen a beautiful flower pot that she was painting, and she told me, let's go to the Lafayette. And I went. On the first class, the teacher says, who is the first time here? And I say, me. So he started like teaching how to hold the brush, how to use the paint, to set the patterns. And we are going to do this seaside that he's doing at the first time. So I'm following every step that he's doing. It was 4 lessons once a week for 2 hours. I really liked it so much that after that class finished, then I still have some paintings. I went to Michael's and I got more canvas, and I signed every time I could. I signed for more classes to continue painting with acrylics. So I made these waves. You can see how the white and I was, what if I do wrong? And he kept telling, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. And he told us, if anybody says that a painting that you made is beautiful, say thank you. Don't ever say, oh no, I made this wrong or this. No, because what they see and they like is okay. So say thank you. Pleasant.
That is good advice.
Yes. That painting, I also made it. The professor have a photo reference and he was doing and practically learning to make clouds. He was making the point that the clouds have a little purple, a little, all the colors to make the shadows and maybe the white and the background, and then here in the front with a lot of yellow ochre and a lot of white, making these things here on the front. And on the beach, there are some people on the beach. So how to make a little dot, and that is the person, and do it that. He was trying to teach us that sometimes in a small painting is better don't add too many details. Just something that insinuate that the second that painting the class, and when I finished, even other students, they gave me compliments. I think that I did a good job. But I don't have more paintings with clouds. All my paintings are blue sky, sunny and beautiful. Those are 2 paintings that I did at home. The top is some leaves that I put on the backyard, and I took a photo and I tried to paint it. And the other, it was from my head, how will be the mangoes in between the bunch of leaves, and they are hanging orange and ripe mangoes. So I made those 2 paintings and I thought that they were so beautiful with acrylic that I even went to Michael's and I framed it. And it was so expensive, the frame. So I learned don't frame anymore because that is too much money. So then with some time I start to buy the canvas. That is easy. I just paint the border and I don't have to frame it because it's too much money involved in the framing. And it makes a difference. A good frame makes quite a difference on a painting, but I don't have budget for that. So I have it here on my right in my studio, those 2 paintings. They were made with acrylic.
Here's this one.
Okay, that is the one that I have here. I say that I didn't apply yes on that one. That is acrylic. You can see that blue, 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 blue. You know, I haven't, excuse me, I haven't learned so much about adding a little lila or brown or other colors to neutralize and make the blue looks more real. And the shape of the mangoes, I was learning, I was in the process to get it I still a lot of learning there. And the light on the leaves. So it's one of my first painting in acrylic, the only one that I saved. And I don't apply on that oil, and I don't try to improve it because it reminds me how much progress I have made since I painted that it was probably 2016 before I went to paint in oils. That is the first face that I painted. I have a beautiful photo, small, of my daughter. That's not my daughter, but I use like the shape of her face, and I put the eyes, and those eyes you can see the white and the skin color. So it was the first paint. I have it framed and I keep it. I like the skin color. Any skin color I like to paint. I like faces of women that looks happy, and I like the colors on the hair. I wasn't sure what size to put the light or the shadow. That is a whole story. People go to school to learn about lights and shadows. I don't know that. So that's why if I had a good reference photo, for me, it's a good reference photo if I can see where the lights come from, and I can see very clear where the shadows are. So I don't have to figure it out how they will be. And that is what I can say. Oh, those are flowers. Those are camellias. Well, I like camellias, and is a painting with acrylic, because when I came here, I have never seen camellia bushes. I think that they are beautiful. And my brother-in-law, he has a place where he has like a total acre field with different camellias bushes in different colors. Some are red, some pink, some purple, even kind of not black, but very dark white. And every year they usually bring me some camellias or I go there. So I make a painting. I was trying to make like a still life. I set the light, and let's see what I do. I took a photo and I paint those flowers. My brother-in-law, he loves my paintings, my camellias, and he was very happy with that. I keep that painting here. It's hard to paint flowers. Those are also, I made that following a YouTube video. I used to play a YouTube video. I have a little table here in the living room in the corner, and as the guy was doing and was painting, I will do and paint, and I have my brushes, my water, everything in one corner. Because one of the things that I learned is that if you really want to do something, just have your place, everything set up. Some people don't paint because, oh, I have to pull the paintings, I have to set it up and then clean up. No, I have already my place. It was a corner in the living room, a small easel, and I paint that with YouTube. That is also from a video in YouTube. I have it here. And it's supposed to be a Bangkok or something. I'm making that green for the base and making that light in the middle of the base. That require a lot of practice. The video probably lasts 30 minutes, and it took me like 3 hours or 4 days to finish that painting. But I enjoy doing that. I was working part-time, and in my free time, I will go to my easel and I will do those paintings. That was between 2011 and 2016. And I have a lot of paintings. I have a lot of other paintings that I still save in a bag, trying to do something.
You were always practicing, though.
Yes. I took a selfie here in my studio. I was wearing a black top and I said the selfie like that. It's hard to paint black because it's not really black. You have to add some different colors and make different shades of black and painting the hands, the skin color, and all that. So I did that by myself here in my studio. It took me a few days, but please, and this painting is now part of an exhibit at the Senior Center. I apply with three paintings and they choose two of my paintings that they are now on exhibit there. That was my first painting of a face in oil. I made that in 2017 when I started going to Darlene by Pride in Havana. So I have to do the sketch using a dark paper and I trace it with pencil on top of the canvas and with spray, hairspray, just seal the sketch, and when the hairspray is dry, then I will do a wash with brown raw amber diluted with turpentine, and then you have your background. And then I start doing everything that is supposed to be me, a photo that my friend took one day that we went to the Mary Kay sales and I was with all my makeup and all that. So she took a photo and it's a nice photo. So when I do a face, I don't put wrinkles. People is gonna look better than, yeah, why are you going to do a paint and show you not looking good, right? So I did a lot of Photoshop on that painting.
It's a perfect opportunity.
So the skin looks beautiful.
Oh, I think
Well,
that was the last one.
And boy, what is see
Oh,
that you? Well, I see you. Is that the last one?
that was the last one. Yeah. So
Okay.
if anybody has any questions for Elvi, she can answer them for a few minutes, or if not, I saw someone came in kind of late. We have been recording this and we will upload it to the Coca website.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving me this time. You have been great. You know, being able to tell this story, I know that my daughter one day she will have time to watch this, and it's good to share something one time. So I hope that anybody who has watched, thank you for being there. And if there is something to learn from here, I will be pleased that if you learn something or if you just enjoy, you have a good time, that is fine. So, and if you want to follow me in Elvi Nichols on Facebook or on Instagram or go to my exhibit at the Tallahassee Airport, I have another painting at the library and I have two paintings at the Senior Center, and I will be at the Woman Club in November also with a table and some paintings. So the second semester is always like more interesting. I like the exhibits with Coca. I like working with you. I think that is very professional people that have given me a lot of support, that have been able to work with me with my limitations with the computer and the language. They have made it so easy for me that I recommend everybody to be a member. Seriously.
You're so sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I recommend everyone go see Elvi's show, and then if you have a chance to get to know her as a person, because it has been such a pleasure. And I know we'll work together again in the future, but this has been so fun.
Yes. Okay. So bye-bye. See you later.